Why do people say, guns are a God-given right? Since when did God ever mention guns? 1 Samuel chapter 17. David said to the Philistine, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will hand you over to me, and I'll strike you down and blow off your head with this bitchin' tacked out AR-15. I believe the logic is as you are given life, you are also given the right to protect your life however needed. But I am no religious scholar. It goes back to John Locke, who just sort of decided that God gives us the inalienable right to life, liberty, and property. He had some reasoning for that, of course. But in other ways he was just blatantly speaking for God like a self-styled prophet. Locke's ideas were important to the founding fathers. Thomas Jefferson changed property to the pursuit of happiness and wrote it all into the Declaration of Independence. Then the rest of the Committee of Five, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert Livingston, edited it to say that it was self-evident that God gave us those rights. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty and the pursuit of happiness. The fact that the words, all men are created equal, was written by a man who owned dozens of human slaves is, obviously, noteworthy. Anyway, in the view of gun advocates, guns are necessary to safeguard liberty, and therefore since liberty is a God-given right, a gun is a God-given right as well. Because the basis of constitutional rights are that they're natural and inalienable rights, meaning that your personal rights don't derive from the authority of government but from a higher authority. For many people, this means God. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty and the pursuit of happiness. By their Creator is God if you're Christian. Right to life, the right to defend yourself with a gun. Right to liberty, right to defend your liberty with a gun. The point about God is actually pretty interesting. The idea is that certain rights, e.g. life, liberty, and property, are given to all people by God, or their Creator. This distinction is important because it means the rights are not given to you by a person, specifically your government. Therefore they cannot morally be taken away by a person, specifically your government. Since when did God say you can speak your mind? Just because it isn't expressly stated in the Bible doesn't mean it isn't a God-given right. Oh, and Jesus said to sell your cloak and buy a sword. Indian God of the Sun said in 1.6, "It ain't too bright to give high-power rifles like AF-15s to society to use as toys and weapons of destruction." I don't think it's like that. I think it's more like we have a God-given right to protect our lives and there is no better way to do that than a gun. And on the third day God gave us the action rifle to protect ourselves against dinosaurs and the mean girls. I did not finish this quote, but those of you who know the movie knows how it goes. He said to them, "But now let the one who has a moneybag take it, and likewise a knapsack, and let the one who has no sword sell his cloak and buy one," essentially relates to self-defense. The Declaration of Independence argued that some of Americans' inalienable rights were endowed to them by their Creator, which was probably also a rebuttal against the European concept of divine right of kings. The Bill of Rights, which includes the right to bear arms, was written by Madison, a close ally of Jefferson, who wrote the Declaration along with Adams and Franklin. So rhetorically it's not that much of a mystery. Some people believe that on the eighth day God said, "Let there be gunpowder, and let the acrid smell of its flash fill the fields in its mighty force. Put to wings the arrows of progress, plunder and freedom," but was removed from the official canon because I own them, and if you want them, come get them yourself and we'll figure out what God gives. Luke chapter 22 verse 36. He said to them, "But now if you have a purse, take it, and also a bag. And if you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy one." Swords were the arms of the day. Now the arms of the day are guns.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.